I'm on break. Just clocked in almost 3 hours ago for my slave shift. And this is what we're having today for lunch. We got a small fry, double cheeseburger, normal, some ice cream with cookies, and sweet sour sauce. Keep it simple. This is probably one of the best meals here at McDonald's. Absolutely fire. Why is my phone moving? Anyways, man, fresh fries, super salty, good though. And one thing I love doing is dipping my fries in that ice cream. Something about like a nice salty fry with the sweet like vanilla ice cream. Look at that. It's so good. But I think the best fry ice cream combination, hands down, has to go to Wendy's. Fire. So, man, I don't know, for some reason, the time seems to be going by pretty slow today. But we'll get through this. Gonna get home. Maybe I might get to play with my kids for a few minutes before they go to sleep. But I get off at 8:30, and that's usually the time where they're getting in bed. So I got to play with them this morning before I went to work, which is always a great thing. But like yesterday, I get to play with them in the morning, and I get to play with them when I come home from work. So that's like a perfect day for me, minus the whole clocking into work. But you know, I can't say this job is 1,000% terrible because number one, free food. I get to eat as much as I want, whenever I want, anytime. Number two, this job is like 5 minutes away from my house, so if anything happens, I can be home like in a flash. And also, I get to see my kids every day, sometimes twice a day. My old job, I used to have to drive almost an hour, wake up at like stupid early in the morning, or some days, I'd get off at like 10. I'd get home at like 10:30, so I wouldn't get to see one of my daughters pretty much all day. I got to see her for like 15 minutes in the morning when I took her to school, and then that's it for like an entire week. That's crazy, and that kind of messed me up. I'm like, dang, I gotta wait like 2 weeks to like see and like hang out with my kids. This is crazy. So I mean, with this job, it sucks because I took a huge, I'm talking huge pay cut. Like the contract I signed, probably one of the worst contracts I ever signed in my whole life. But I got some other things in motion, so I don't plan on being here long. This was like a really emergency situation to where I just needed a job. I mean, technically, I didn't need a job. I could have stayed on the All Bites Lows. It's like this government program that helps you find jobs, and while you're not working, they pay you. So a lot of people use this system. They just sit on it, for months, sometimes years. The government would just pay them for sitting at home until they find or search for jobs. A lot of people abuse this system, but I don't like just sitting at home. I don't like being a bum. I want to work for my money, but also I don't want to slave for my money. If that makes sense. Like, I don't want to be a bum. I don't want to just sit at home and collect government checks, but also I don't want to be like worked to death like a workhorse. I want to find some sort of fulfillment in the job that I do, and outside of this, that's what I'm working on right now. So I'm not gonna give too many details, but we're getting things in motion. Mm. But I had this thought, bro. Do y'all hear that? What is he doing? I had this thought earlier. You know, nowadays people talk about wanting, traditional man, traditional woman. And as I sat and I thought about it, I'm like, yo, like the traditional man and like traditional woman, like that doesn't really exist anymore. And it's really hard for it to exist because that type of mindset has to be instilled in you from your family, like very early on. And a lot of people don't have that because a lot of people grow up in broken homes. So like a lot of men aren't taught, how to be a gentleman, how to treat, women, how to be a good husband. A lot of women aren't taught to, be wives and, tend to the needs of, her family, her household, and her man. And also, man, like, back in the day, like men were just built differently back in the day. Like they would go and work in a coal mine or work on like or go out to war. Just hard niggas, bro. Like we don't have that type of masculinity anymore. And the same with women. Like women back then were just built different. They'd pop out 7, 8, 9 babies and be like, yeah, like I'll take another 5. Like nowadays, when you have like 3 or more kids, people look at you crazy. Like I truly want 7 kids. I think that's like the perfect number. Like maybe like 3 boys, 4 girls, or shoot, I could have 6 girls and 1 boy. Like that would be fine with me. But I come from a big family, and I just like big families. Like I want 7 kids, and yeah, my wife is completely against it. But whenever I talk to other people, like my coworkers, about this, they're like, "What? You're out of your mind for wanting 7 kids." But like, take this back like 50, 60 years ago. Having 7 kids was like kind of on the low end. But also, like I said, women back then, they were just built different. Like they were all about their man and their family, and they didn't care about how many kids they have. They just spitting them out. Women nowadays, they not built like that. They can barely handle one. And it's a sad thing because I find big families beautiful, and I absolutely love kids. I wish I had more. But yeah, my coworker was telling me that her mom has 9. And I was like, damn. And that her grandma had like 12 or 13, something like that, some crazy number. And like my grandma had 9. My dad has 6. And everywhere we would go, people were like, dang, you got all them kids? Really, 6 ain't even a lot of kids. I mean, it was a lot of kids at that time, but it's not really too much. Mm. Let's see what this double cheeseburger hitting on. It's alright. It was sitting out for a little bit. I should have made a fresh one, but I was kind of lazy. Here's the thing about McDonald's, bro. Majority of the time, I will say the food is fresh, but sometimes they make too much and it sits there for like over 30 minutes. It might be a little stale. Still good, but not as good as it could be. Like I said, if you want fresh food, order something and either add something to it or take something away. So like order a cheeseburger, no pickles, they'll have to make it fresh. Or like cheeseburger, no onions, or whatever burger, extra cheese. Unless it's just really bad management, or just really just like the workers there don't care at all. They'll have to make your food from scratch and fresh. Bro, this ice cream is the absolute best ice cream on the planet. It's so like silky, smooth, and creamy. Pause. So I got about 20 minutes left, and I have to go clock back in. The other day, I was wondering why McDonald's and other businesses like this pay their workers so little. But when you actually look at the whole business model, owning a McDonald's really isn't like the greatest business move. You don't really make as much as you think you would make because you're gonna need a team of at least like 20 employees. So every year, that's probably like somewhere between like 400 to $500,000. Plus, you gotta pay your corporation fees, franchise fees, plus all the food costs. And when you crunch all the numbers, unless you're like in a hot spot, your profit every year probably is gonna be like around 200 to 300,000 a year. So I don't know. Looking at like owning, like if you own one McDonald's, I wouldn't really say that's a smart business move. Unless you're planning on like owning multiple ones, then you might have something going on there. But having one is sales kind of risky.